Welcome to the second video. So, a third video actually in this series. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be adding some values to the global state and the local state. Now, there's obviously a difference between the global values and the local values. And I'm going to just show you a bit of what I mean. So this is just comments, global states. Okay, and we're going to copy this out again. We're going to say user state. Okay, so on the global state, we're going to have things that affect everyone. On the user state, we're going to have things that affect just the user. So think about it. Things that affect everyone are things like liquidation threshold. So we do uint 256 public. We're going to make it a variable. So liquidation threshold, and this value is going to be able to be set. Yeah. Then also another thing is loan to value ratio. Uint 256 public loan to value ratio. Okay, we'll be setting these values here. I think I might actually leave that function this for you to finish up. I mean, you could try and finish it up yourself, but I may have to finish up myself, to be honest. But what should go in here because we've written functions like this before. These are like the easiest functions to write, this set functions. Okay. Yeah, and there are other things that go in here. I'm not going to write them yet until it's time for us to have those things. So I'll leave them open for now. And then for the user state, we have mappings. Okay, so we have two sets of mappings. We have mappings for, hold on a second. We have mappings for when a user deposits like a loan, and then we also have mappings for borrowers as well. So I think I'm going to split this into two different states. I'm going to say lender states, and I'm going to have borrower states. Okay, so borrower states. Okay, good. All right, now for the lender state, just thinking off the top of my head here, we should be able to have a mapping where the lender with an address deposits an asset type. So some markets can support more than one asset type, but maybe for simplicity, we let's support only a single asset type. Yeah, so that way when a person is depositing, we're not also taking in like an address. Okay, typically sometimes you might, but in this case, let's assume everyone's using the same asset. So the lender, this is uint 256 public, let's call it lender balance. Okay, all right. What else do we need? So from the lender balance, when we deposit, we increment, and when we withdraw, we reduce from this. Okay, another thing that we need to know is we need to know the last reward point, so reward checkpoint. So I'm going to call this uint 256. I don't know why I keep using the wrong thing. Public reward checkpoint. So this is it stores when a user enters a position, and the next time it comes, it checks the current state and then subtracts it from the last state. You're going to understand it when I write it. And then yeah, and I think we're also going to have here address uint 256 public. The difference between the last state and current state is something called old, but let's say let's call it pending rewards. Okay, now you may have noticed something here if you are quite eagle-eyed. This is addressed to uint 256, this is addressed to uint 256, and this is addressed to uint 256. How about we combine all these three things into one single mapping? So we're not having a mapping for this and a mapping for this and a mapping for that, so that when we want to update it, we just pass in an address and we update everything at once. So to do that, you need a struct. So here we're going to create a struct called lender account. Okay, and the lender account is going to have uint 256 lender balance, obviously, uint 256 reward checkpoint, obviously, and uint 256 pending rewards. Okay, so that way we don't need this three, we only need one. And what would the one be? It would be a mapping to lender account, and then we'll say here, we'll say lender info. You can delete this other two. Now, the reason why I wrote something that I was going to delete anyway was because previously I often wrote the struct before I wrote the mapping. Now you understand the reason why we use structs, because instead of having three fields, three separate mappings that all can be addressed from here, just have one. You know, there's just no need to have multiple stuff like that. Okay, so the lender balance, yeah, reward checkpoints, yeah, this is, I think we're good. If yeah, I think I want to call this last reward checkpoint. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we're good here. Now let's do the borrower state. Is actually going to be way more interesting. So, but I'm going to stop this video here, make this video a short video. Let's see that it compiles. It does. Let's make this video a short video.